So like a surprising number of people here, I come from a photography background and an art history background. I've been using 3D scanning and 3D printing in my work for about 10 years, but when I started, it was because I wanted to continue to explore the same questions that I did as a photographer. Questions about the body, about time and memory and loss and history. So the foundation of all my work is this device, the 3D laser scanner. And it's an amazing contraption, but it's not designed to capture the human body. When the subject moves, when they breathe, the scanner kind of breaks down and you get these fragmented forms that you see in so much of my work. When I first scanned my face, though, I noticed another really bizarre thing. My still white face on the screen, drained of all colour, drained of life and movement, looked like nothing more than a death mask. It was really eerie. And it reminded me of the story of the invention of the X-ray machine, where Frau Röntgen's wife, the wife of the inventor, saw her hand, her skeletal hand, in the first X-ray that was ever made. And the story goes that she was horrified. She thought this was an evil technology. She was going to have nothing to do with it, and actually saved her life. She would have died of radiation poisoning otherwise. So she was a smart woman. So I started making these sculptural death masks, first in 3D printed plastic, and then I began casting them in bronze and in clay. I was trying to get at something that photographers have really always known, which is that you work so hard to capture the face, to capture the faces of your loved ones, to freeze time and memory. But what you get is a still image. It's something else entirely, and it's this eerie kind of haunted thing. Like anything in an archive too, the data in this work will break, it breaks, it ages. And I've started damaging these works even more, so they look like something an archaeologist might pull out of a landfill in 500 years, maybe after the zombie apocalypse. They're excavating the side of my parents' basement. Just to, the idea of time passing has become really important in my work. I did a series 2 of prints with a LIDAR scanner, and this is used mainly by the military and in forensics. And it does the same thing. It strips all the life away from the landscape in the same way that the scanner that I use strips the life away from the body. So this is a video called Body Traces, commissioned by MPAC a couple of years ago. And we made it with a DIY Lego laser scanner that my husband built. He's the engineer and the coder in the family, not me. It scanned in stop motion, so our poor dancer had to hold poses for 2 minutes like this. We really tortured her in the name of art. Because this medium, for me, was so much in its infancy, we really looked at the dawn of photography and of cinema for inspiration, and particularly Muybridge's motion studies were what played into this work. This video is called 04/30/2011. It was designed to be shown on large urban screens, and it has done so worldwide, thanks to the Streaming Museum. If those of you who were at 01 recently might have seen this on their urban screen. I was thinking of the cliche in science fiction movies of this a screen with rotating 3D images of the citizens, the implication being of this total governmental control by biometrics. And I wanted to invert it, and I ended up with these really broken, deathly memorial images that tell you nothing. You know, these are not portraits. The data tells you virtually nothing about these people. This is an older work. It's a life-size 3D printed sleeping figure. And I was looking at tomb sculpture, at funereal sculpture. I'm recently proposing to build another figure like this at Graceland Cemetery in Chicago, where I'm currently based. I think it's actually a really interesting exercise for everybody to design their own tomb. So I'm proposing to design my own tomb, and I recommend not just artists. It's really useful. It puts things in perspective. I was thinking about the British author and artist Tom McCarthy, who recently came out with an essay called Transmission and the Individual Remix. And he talks about the haunting of recording technology. He says that we work so hard to build these technologies as a hedge against death, to freeze life and to stop time, but that what you end up building is your own tomb. So your hard drive filled with your photographs, your Facebook page filled with your status updates, your Instagram photos, those devices become our tombs. I work with all this imagery not because I want to be morbid, but because I'm interested in exploring the ways that technology can fail to capture life and what the poetics of that failure might look like. And we live in a world where we're so bombarded with claims for all-seeing, all-powerful imaging technologies. And it's my belief that as artists, destabilising those through poetics might actually prove to be the strongest weapon that we have. Thank you.